Welcome to the Wash Exchange, where we have real conversations with real results. And we've got Greg Cummins from the nation's capital, Canberra. How are you, Greg?
G'day, Blair. Yeah, going pretty good. Thanks, mate. How you
Thanks
been?
for taking the time out tonight. I don't know if you've had a few beers or not, but hopefully you have, so we get some insights into what's been a 30-year.
Certainly tell you some stories after a couple of beers, that's for sure.
There you go. We'll just see the mighty Canberra Raiders jersey in the background. If people don't know, that's the local rugby league team. They got a good win on yesterday, wasn't it?
Yep, smoked. Yeah, very
Good.
happy. So, and I had a couple of car wash coins on it, so it was very good.
Well, there you go. So speaking of the car wash coins, you're a bit of a veteran, so 30 years now. Tell us how you got started and what was that like?
Well, it was very strange. A mate of mine came over from Wagga, and a guy called Steve Spencer started a car lovers in Wagga and franchised it. And in 1992, my mate came over and said, "Look, you're not going to believe this, but I'm going to build a car wash where they're going to come in and pay me to wash their own car." And I said, "Look, you're in Canberra, mate. It's not going to happen." Anyway, within a couple of years, we had 4 or 5 of them going. So yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it just took off like wildfire.
And was that the car lovers brand back then?
It was, yeah. After a while, we had, my wife and I, Sunday, we had 5 of them going very quickly.
Well, it's interesting because Steve Spencer's still around and his son's now taken over the car wash in Newcastle, one of the busiest car washes in the country.
I think I met Mark at the last car wash meeting. Yeah.
So
good bloke. Yes.
He's good. Yeah. And just for those people that don't know, you might be overseas, but AQUA is an acronym for Australian Car Wash Association, which we'll get to in a minute. But Greg, how many car washes have you got currently and where are they located?
Down to 3. I got one in Brisbane and 2 down here in Canberra.
Yep. So the one in Brisbane, I was there last week and it's a pretty good, successful site. A couple of self-serve bays, 2 laser washers. I think you run a laser washers all on there.
Yeah. We run 360s everywhere and they're going really well. Reliable machine, which is what you want. Yeah. And using your chemicals helps a lot. Yeah. No, well, obviously your polishes are second to none. So, crazy if you're not using them.
Yep. And what do you find the difference between Canberra and Brisbane, like staffing issues, customers different, pricing?
Yeah. Look, there's not a lot of difference. If you give good service, you can charge top dollar. There's no doubt about it. And that's what we do in Canberra. We're not cheap, but the cars come out clean and shiny and people just keep lining up for it. So,
sure.
Yeah. If you want a McDonald's style where you just pump out shit and, people are happy with that, great. But if you want a good product and willing to give the service, people will pay a premium for it.
So your car wash at Fish Week, I think you've had that for nearly 30 years now.
Yeah, going on 30, yeah.
So back 30 years ago, what were the prices like? Do you remember the prices compared to today?
Yeah. We opened a dollar bought you a $2, 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yep.
And the prices on the laser wash were, I think, 8, 10 and 12, I think it was. We started.
Yep.
I remember putting it up to like 10, 12 and 14. I thought, oh God, people are going to still buy it.
Yep.
Now we're like 40, 45 and 50. Like, so.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's just, the way things are gone.
So you do have a little bit of a different model to most. So your $50 wash, what do you get for that?
We prep cars.
Yep.
So I have a guy on prepping the 2 laser washers. They go in, we put on your polish, they go out, we do the wheels and your ceramic's good. And as soon as it dries the next day, the car looks absolutely shit hot. So that's what they come back for.
Good. And is that for Canberra as well? We do the same service there?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a point of difference between us and everybody else for sure. Yeah.
And we talk about names of car washes. You got Bay Wash up in Brisbane. What are the names in Canberra leading into the Guns and Hoses name? It was a bit iconic back in the day.
Yeah. When I owned Queanbeyan, it was a very run-down site when I took it over and it needed a revamp in Queanbeyan. So renamed it all Guns and Hoses and it was an instant hit. People come from the paper, they took pictures of it and everyone was talking about Guns and Hoses and it was a good, one of the albums has got like a dinner plate and it's got roses and that on it. He changed it to a tire just with hoses and obviously guns on it. It just come up looking really good. Yeah. Our shirts were really cool.
Yep. Have you still got that site?
No, I sold it about 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so Australian Car Wash Association, some people may or may not know, but you were the president there for, I don't know how long, and you got voted in and you might have had a few too many drinks and was I think to this day, the only
Find that hard to
president,
believe, actually. Yeah.
the only president that didn't make the AGM. So congratulations on that. But besides that, how did you find back then? I mean, we had a water crisis. There was quite a lot of issues back then affecting
Yeah.
the car
Yeah.
wash operator. If you just want to touch on that and how you worked through that.
Well, the thing down here in Canberra, I'd just taken over my 5th car wash in about 2001. And I remember the day we had these massive bushfires in Canberra. It was huge. And the fire brigade from Queanbeyan was over at my western site. They'd come in and to wash up coming out of the forest at night. And the captain got out and he said, man, if this thing turns, it's going to take out Canberra. And that was on the Wednesday. By Saturday, it had taken out Canberra. Like it just turned and come straight down the mountains and there was no stopping it. So going back to those days, it was really the start of the drought. And then by 2006, Canberra was really starting to struggle with water. They wanted to shut down all the car washes, but with the help of the Liberal government and also the trade unions, when I went and met with Actu AGL, the CEO there, I had the unions and the Liberal Party on my side, and all he had was his nuffies on the other side who didn't really understand the flow of water and everything in Canberra. I'd already done my homework and was able to keep the car washes open through a good argument.
So you had two polar opposites: the Labor, the unions, and the Liberal Party.
Yeah, it was unusual.
Yeah.
But yeah, having that backing certainly helped to keep us going because obviously there's a lot of industries in the Transport Workers Union that need to have their vehicles washed and clean. Like even through COVID, they didn't shut us down. I had talk about guns and hoses, I had 3 police contracts through COVID because every time they changed the shift, they had to wash their car. So you couldn't get in somebody else's car. You had to have it cleaned. So COVID was the busiest time we've ever experienced. Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, I paid off all my loans. Everything was done through COVID just by the amount of people coming in because we're able to show the government that people need a clean windscreen. They need a clean car to get around.
And I know you were out of the association, or you're still in the association, weren't president then, but I was certainly proactive back then. I know Doug Cross, who's now retired, was into it. Just back on the water, I know Greg Boston, yourself, Diana, I believe, did a lot of work.
Diane Ross, yeah, she did a lot of work. Richard Holloway, those were unbelievable, the amount of work and effort they put in. And not only the rest of the board also helped.
You were one of the founding members of the association, I believe.
I went to the first do we had.
Yep.
Obviously, think about Canberra, you're stuck away from nowhere. Like a lot of it was based in Melbourne, a bit in Sydney, and then it took off in Brisbane.
Yep.
So being in Canberra, we're sort of isolated, but the association was able to pull us all together. And it's amazing how many country washers turned up in that first meeting. Fiona.
Yep.
She was there and she's still there. So
still there. Yep.
Yeah. We're relics.
And in 30 years of washing cars, what's been the most memorable? This is a bit of a tough question, but is there anything that stands out directly that you wish you could get replicated once a month or every 3 months, or be at a weather event or something going on?
Yeah, look, you can't beat a good dust storm, can you?
No,
So,
you can't.
Those guys in the paddocks out at Yass that keep doing donuts and send all the paddocks over here. It's awesome. So yeah, you can't beat a good. There was one event there where we're getting rolled by this guy at a couple of our sites. I couldn't sleep one night and went over to Western and I was still in my PJs and I got out of the car about 2:00 in the morning, looking around and whatnot.
I hope this bloke was small, mate, because you're not the most serious guy in the world.
I was ready to run him over. Yeah, so these 2 coppers jumped out of the bushes. The coppers had been waiting there for him as well. So they come over and said, "You've got to be the luckiest bastard I've ever come across." I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Look at our car." Like his car was absolutely orange. You couldn't see out of anything. We just had this big red dust storm, unbeknown to me, just come through about 12:00 at night, and everything was orange. Anyway, by 6:00, don't tell anyone. This is a secret between you and I.
Well, we've probably got no one watching this anyway, so it'll be right.
Yeah, I jumped the fence. I grabbed hold of next door neighbour's fire hose because we'd run out of water. They were queuing from about 3:00, just non-stop, just going flat out. Anyway, I took off about 9:00, said, "Look, I've got to go and get dressed and everything." And got a call from one of the other sites, said, "You just got to get over here. They're down the street. You got to help us." So I get over there. I get out of the car and there's Canberra Times. They've taken my photo on the front page of the Canberra Times. I'm in my PJs, and Greg Cummins loves the gold dust, they called it. Gold dust hits Canberra.
Gold dust for a few of us. I know we got a good run. We get a good run of chemical sales whenever those dust storms come. So
Yeah.
if you're one of those blokes and watching, keep doing whatever you do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Now, moving forward, Greg, you've got your son and son-in-law working in the business. What's the future look like for you
Yeah,
guys?
look, I've got a business partner up in Brisbane, and his son's come on board. He's a great kid, Huey.
Yep.
Yeah, he's come on board, especially with the social media. Like, I think
Yep.
we've gone to #1 in Brisbane, pushing things.
It's been very good. Well, we'll
Yeah,
put the link up to your social media and websites and everything below this as well, so people can have a look.
they've been fantastic. Yeah, and in Canberra here, my business partner at Fishwick, his son Scott, he did a business degree in accounting, so he's looking after things there. And I've got my son running now Erindale, and he's doing a great job. And then my son-in-law has taken on the payment systems for Australia, so he has just been called out everywhere. So yeah,
So
he's doing.
what do you mean? What's with the payments, Greg? Explain that.
So he's started, well, during COVID, we built a couple of things under the house, and QR codes and that, so people could keep using it, not touching anything. And then it took off into, it's now called Copper Fox Digital. And he's got payments that he integrates with platforms. Doesn't matter what payment system you want to use, he can integrate it into using it a laundromat, car wash, or whatever's needed. Virtually what he's trying to do is, so because he's dealing with so many different payment suppliers, that he's nailing the fees right down for everybody. So I know a few of the guys, the bigger guys in Australia now, especially in the car wash situation, have contacted him, and they're starting to use him as well. So
There is a bit of a problem in Australia. I think it comes out in October. Don't quote me, but we're not allowed to pass on the
correct. Yeah.
charges, the payment charges. So
Yeah.
what's that going to do to the car wash operator, Greg? Because I mean, you're getting charged quite a bit for a tap. You're on charge it currently. Are we just going to have to absorb it or put it in the price of the car wash?
Depends who you're dealing with. There are ways around it.
Okay.
But he'll be at the car wash show in October.
Toby, yep.
I see Elliot at Copper Fox Digital, and
If not, we'll get him on here and
he's got a couple of solutions for that.
he can talk about it. And speaking of that, if you guys have got a product or something, we don't really care if you're our opposition or a right. It doesn't matter who it is. Everyone's welcome on this. We're having real conversations, real results. So we'll get Elliot on there. He's a bit of a geek. I'll be able to give him a little bit of a hard time and see if he can handle the pace.
He's the Greek geek, I call him. There'll be little Greek geeks running around.
Yep. Now, with 30 years ago, obviously things were a lot cheaper, but probably comparative to what they are today. If you had to start out today, Greg, with today's land prices, what you've built in Brisbane, for example, we own the freehold, would you build again or would you just buy an existing wash? And if someone was looking at entering the market, what would you say to them?
Brisbane is almost impossible to buy anything anymore. The commercial property has gone through the roof, and what they're doing with all the commercial property there, they're turning into residential. So there's not much left. If you want a good site, you can be in a back alley or something, but the exposure is not going to be very good. I'd definitely be looking for personally, a wash that hasn't been looked after in a good spot is something I'd snavel. But now that I've got a team behind me, like these kids have come up and they actually got your chemicals running through their veins now, so they're keen to hang on to it, onto the washes. I'm 65. I'm near done and dusted, so the kids are all keen to keep going. It's very rare. Like you're paying out of your backside to get those sort of blocks set now, and even we paid a lot of money for that block in Brisbane.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Yeah, we had to remediate it. It was an ex-service station site. Yeah, it was like a 5-year project to get it up and running.
Yeah.
And then when we did open, we had that 100-year flood and yada, yada, yada. Like,
Yeah.
it made it really difficult. But that's how things go. We've been in a holding state here for the last 6 months because it's been nonstop rain. But all of a sudden the sun's shining and, we can't wash them quick enough now.
Oh, that's good. I mean, the problem with Brisbane and most places now, and Brisbane in particular, I know that fairly well, but since COVID, basically anything industrial that's half good has tripled in value. I mean, it's almost cost prohibitive to
crazy.
build.
Maybe do something like Waves in Canberra where they've put the car wash on the bottom and build over the top of it units and stuff like that. Like
Multi-purpose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, just in final read, you'll come to the car wash show, so we'll see you there, no doubt, in October.
Yeah, look forward to it. I like catching up with a few mates there and whatnot.
Yep, that's good.
You know, I've made a lot of mates through the association and definitely go along. A lot of experience. There's going to be a lot of young people who bring a lot to the table now as well, because as you know, you and I, we're a bit past the computer age.
As you
Maybe
know, we've only tried about 5 times to get this thing going.
talking about Errol, I did I ever tell you the time I met him?
No,
So we're over in
that's my old man for anyone that doesn't know him, yeah, so
when you go to a car wash show, the Aussies usually meet up for a night. And of course, they picked Hooters. And so we've turned up at Hooters and having a fat time. And Errol tapped me on the shoulder and started going on about his chemicals. And next thing I was buying them off him and he talked me into it. And
hypnotised you.
there was no lap dance involved at all.
That would have been 2007, 2008 probably. It was the first
Yeah,
show I actually went
it was
to.
20 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
Good times.
Oh, they were very good times. You know, we were doing it a little bit tough with trying to keep the water and everything open. But,
Yep,
you know, if you're able to stay open through the drought, you're going to make a lot of money. So
yeah.
gear up for it, get ready for it. It's coming. I reckon by 2030, we're going to be in the thick of it again. So,
I hope you're right.
yeah, definitely. You know, talk to your council, get your facts right. Yeah, be prepared because it's going to happen again.
Yeah, I suppose back then, none of us were prepared what happened and,
No, no,
we
no.
should learn from it.
Yes, this is a very unusual winter in Canberra. It hasn't been this warm for a long time. And yeah, last year, by this time, we would have had at least a dozen -8s. And I reckon this is it. We're going to be on the cusp of something big. So if you're in car washing, get ready.
Well, we'll keep going, mate. Thank you so much for taking your time tonight. And for people that haven't met you before, you're a great guy to have fun with. You've been very good for the industry. And we thank your time and a little bit of insight